Hello everyone.
After conference, feedback link will be provided. Hello everyone. Uh, I appreciate all of you for the patience that you've shown for having with this conference. We are getting start within few minutes. Our respected secretary madam is getting joined. She is in travel. That's why we are waiting. And within 5 minutes, message that within 5 to 10 minutes, she will be available to us. Thank you. Video call. Welcome and good morning, Dr. Pramod Kamble sir. Hello. Hello, good morning, Kamble sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Good
audible,
morning.
sir. Hello.
ये talk है conference.
Our resource
दोपहर को
person, Honorable Dr. Pramod Kamble sir, has joined for today's national conference. He will offer us keynote address. I welcome him once again.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
your voice is audible,
Hmm.
quite audible. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are loud and clear.
Okay, thank you, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग. ज्ञान विज्ञान आणि सुसंस्कार यासाठी शिक्षण प्रसार परमपूज्य डॉक्टर बापूजी साळुंखे, श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद शिक्षण संस्था कोल्हापूर संचलित काकासाहेब चव्हाण महाविद्यालय तळमवले येथे आज एक दिवसीय ऑनलाईन नॅशनल मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी कॉन्फरन्स आज संपन्न होत आहे आणि त्याचा विषय आहे इनोव्हेशन फॉर सस्टेनेबल डेव्हलपमेंट अँड रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ एन्व्हायरमेंट. हिंदीमध्ये पर्यावरण पुनरुत्थान और शाश्वत विकास के लिए नवाचार, मराठीमध्ये पर्यावरण पुनर्संचयित व शाश्वत विकास करण्यासाठीच्या नवकल्पना हा आपल्या आज कॉन्फरन्सचा विषय आहे. श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद शिक्षण संस्थाची स्थापना परमपूज्य डॉक्टर बापूजी साळुंखे यांनी जून 1954 साली केलेली आहे. संस्थेचं मुख्य ऑफिस कोल्हापूर येथे आहे. तसेच काकासाहेब चव्हाण महाविद्यालय तळमवले याची स्थापना 1969 या साली झालेली आहे. आजचा जो आपला विषय आहे इनोव्हेशन फॉर सस्टेनेबल डेव्हलपमेंट अँड रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ एन्व्हायरमेंट या विषयाच्या पाठीमागील ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आहेत to focus on environmental issues, to avail the platform for fruitful discussion on the issue, to emphasize the need for green and clean environment, to gather environmentalists, thinkers, researchers, academicians, and policymakers to come up with plausible view to find possible solutions over the issue. हे आपल्या आजच्या कॉन्फरन्सचे ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आहेत. त्याचबरोबर मेन विषयाबरोबर आपण सब थीम सुद्धा प्रत्येक स्ट्रीम नुसार दिल्या होत्या. पर्टिक्युलर फॉर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इंग्लिश इट इज नॅशनलिझम इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, इंडस्ट्रियलायझेशन, एन्व्हायरमेंटल डॅमेज इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, इको क्रिटिसिझम अँड मॉडर्न इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, इंग्लिश रोमॅन्टिक रिवायवल, रिटर्न टू नेचर, इश्यूज ऑफ ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग अँड क्लायमेट चेंज इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, डिपिक्शन ऑफ मॉडर्न वॉरफेअर्स इम्पॅक्ट ऑन एन्व्हायरमेंट इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर. हिंदी डिपार्टमेंट साठी हिंदी साहित्य में पर्यावरण चेतना, औद्योगिकरण के कारण हिंदी साहित्य में चित्रित पर्यावरणीय क्षति, हिंदी साहित्य में ग्लोबल वार्मिंग और जल एवं वायु परिवर्तन के मुद्दे, परिवर्तन परिस्थिति की आलोचना और आधुनिक हिंदी साहित्य, हिंदी साहित्य में आधुनिक युद्ध के पर्यावरण पर प्रभाव का चित्रण. तसेच मराठी या विषयासाठी मराठी साहित्य आणि पर्यावरण, विकासाभिमुख प्रकल्प आणि विस्थापितांचे मराठी साहित्यातील जीवनचरित्र, पर्यावरणीय बदलांचे मराठी साहित्यात उमटलेले प्रतिबिंब, औद्योगिकरणामुळे झालेल्या पर्यावरणाच्या ऱ्हासाचे मराठी साहित्यात आलेले चित्रण, युद्धांचा पर्यावरणीय परिणाम. इकॉनॉमिक्स अर्थशास्त्र या विषयासाठी दिलेले सब थीम्स आहेत. The economic impact of the sustainable development goals, global trade and environmental sustainability, sustainable resource management, environment economics and policy, green economy transition, climate change and economic impacts. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री या विषयासाठी द रोल ऑफ हिस्ट्री इन सस्टेनेबल डेव्हलपमेंट गोल्स cultural heritage and innovation for restoration of environment, the impact of World War First and Second on the ecosystem, resource use and exploitation, the consequences of exploitation of natural resources, forest, water, minerals throughout history. The impact of the Industrial Revolution on air and water quality, the history of the environmental movement. For geography, it is climate change, biodiversity, water and water scarcity, recent trends in agriculture, natural disasters and management. For political science, it is the political impact of the Sustainable Development Goals, Sustainable Development Goals and gender equality, environmental policy and governance, Sustainable Development Goals for restoration of the ecosystem and political science. For sociology, it is Indian perspective on sustainable development and climate change, human rights and environment, environment and human health, environmental movements and activism, human-environment relationship, human attitudes and values, social causes of environmental problems, environmental justice, consumption and sustainability, lifestyle impacts on environment. For commerce and management stream, the sub-themes are sustainable business management, the role of commerce in sustainable development goals, sustainable trade and commerce, a step towards ecosystem revival decade. Global trade and commerce, environmental sustainability, innovations and technological developments in commerce, marketing innovations and sustainable development for future commerce, e-commerce as a catalyst for ecosystem revival through sustainability. Okay, thank you. Now we are going to start our today's conference. Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, speakers, and participants joining us today from across the nation. It is an absolute honor to our Sri Swami Vivekanand Shikshan Samstha Kolhapur's Kakasaheb Chavan College, Talmavale for organizing one-day online national multidisciplinary conference on innovation for sustainable development and restoration of environment. It is a subject that is not just relevant but essential for our planet's future. I am Dipali Patil and I am delighted to take you through this insightful journey where we discuss innovative solutions, policy frameworks, and groundbreaking action towards restoring our environment through sustainable development. In our Sri Swami Vivekanand Samstha, every program starts with a Samstha prayer written by its founder, Dr. Bapuji Salunke. I request all the participants to be ready for our Samstha prayer. Samstha prayer is going to start.
Okay. Hello, good morning and welcome to all once again for the national conference that we have organized on environmental issues.
इंट्रोडक्शन प्रार्थना चालू केली मी अर्ध्यात थांबून तुम्ही मध्ये बोलला म्हणून.
ओके ठीक आहे. आवाज
तुमचा आवाज इथे येणार नाही सर, तुम्ही फक्त बोलत राहा.
ठीक आहे. Welcome to all once again for the conference that's based on environmental issues and the possible solutions that we will discuss on this platform. Presently, the Earth has been facing numerous environmental sustainability issues. Nowadays, the identical question is at core discussion on global platform. Why is environmental sustainability significant? The reasons behind the environmental discussion is that we do have some threats to our whole universe because of air pollution, water pollution, then soil pollution, climate change, global warming. For example, if we take global warming, if we see that is Earth's temperature presently is averagely 50 degree, and that is increasing day by day. That is the major question that's all over world, every country is facing and just trying different things for that. Then waste production is there, then deforestation, oceans problems are there, then river acidification is there, water scarcity, decreasing biodiversity, and over pesticides and chemicals in agriculture that is causing health issues to ourselves. That's why innovation for sustainable development and restoration of environment is a vibrant topic to be discussed. The conference provides a platform to researchers at large to debate and discuss for finding practical solutions to come over the issues. Some solutions can be, that is traditional energy resources, that is coal based, which produces carbon and that causes different problems, that can be changed to green and clean energy, in the example that is wind or solar energy. And what could be the innovation? For example, this plastic blocks are now introduced with startup companies or firms that's giving solution to the plastic, that single plastic that cannot be replaced or that cannot be refined. So that is innovative initiative by them. So such kind of issues and some possible solutions to be discussed in this platform, and not only for the discussion, but to come up with innovative and practical solutions to implement for better future. This is the reason behind this national conference, and this platform is provided to all to come up with some practical solutions that could be implemented in future to betterment of our life. Thank you. Thank you to all.
To officially commence today's event, let us begin with the inauguration ceremony. The chief guest of our inauguration ceremony is Principal Sau Shubhangi Gaude Madam, Secretary Sri Swami Vivekanand Shikshan Sanstha Kolhapur. Her immense contribution for Sanstha has been truly inspiring. We are privileged to have you with us today. Now I request Dr. Bise Sir, HOD, Department of English, KC College Talmavale, and IQSC Coordinator to introduce Secretary Madam.
Thank you, Patil Madam, for giving me opportunity to introduce our Secretary Madam. It's my pleasure to give information to all the participants that our Secretary Madam is a dynamic personality. She stands for us as an inspiration and model for motivation for in all fields, not only education, That is the matter that we are proud of her. She is working as a principal in New Model English School and Junior College at Kolhapur. Then she performs role as a secretary to the Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Sanstha Kolhapur, which is the mother institute of this college, that is Kakasaheb Chavan College. She was also ex Senate member of Shivaji University and ex member of Women's Welfare Committee of Government of Maharashtra. Then she has also good experience of that is as an educational expert at renowned newspaper of Lokmat in Maharashtra. Then gives me very proud that she's from the same background, that is environmental science, that is her the formal education, and she has interest in this topic too much. Then she had some awards, that is the Star Sanstha Chalak Award she has received. Then Kranti Jyoti Savitribai Phule Shikshan Bhushan Puraskar she has got. Then Manpatra Award she has got. Then Shikshan Din Sanman she has received from this renowned institute, that is Tasgaon Nagar Parishad. Then she has published several research papers and presented several research articles in international conference, and she is also editor in the few research journals. And it's pleasure to inform you that environmental sciences is a book named after her. She is author of that book. I welcome our secretary madam to deliver the lecture that we are waiting for. Thank you.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yes, yes, I'm audible. Okay. So, good morning, all of you, and I welcome all of you for the interesting seminar which is held online, which is based on the environmental problems which we are facing at present. So, I welcome behalf of Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Samstha and with the due respect of Shikshan Maharishi Dr. Bapuji Salunkhe and Samstha Mata Sushila Devi Salunkhe. I bow towards their work and memory, and I always am happy to join such seminars. So I thank the organizers, that is the whole team of Kakasaheb Chavan College Talmavale, for arranging the National Multidisciplinary Conference for all of us. Because I call all of us for the reason I'm also a part of your conference today, but because of a certain function going on around me, I have just separated me in a car at present, and I'm not able to speak with you as I need to speak with you all. But I, being a student of environmental science, and at present am doing a research on the bioindicators which is affecting the polluted waters in Kolhapur area. So regarding that, I can say that today's topic is innovation for sustainable development and restoration of environment, which is just a topic which is not to be written and discussed and kept aside. It should be implementable, as Sir just now he has suggested us, and you all being the present dignitaries, the resource persons, the research students, the senior members who are attending the conference, I request you and heartily I congratulate you for the discussion or being the part of this panel, because it's really subject to be thought over, because we see that many disasters, many drastic changes are being seen, and because of which the climate, the whole weather of around us is changing drastically, and which is affecting the health of human, as well as you can say the biota, that is the planktons seen in the aquatic region the species which are being getting distinct extinct, and we are really facing a problem of land today because of the dwelling or the population increase is making us face the problem, and we are cutting down the trees. That is, deforestation is taking place at a large scale. So all this problem together, there are many more issues which has to be discussed, and if needed, you can take those things in today's conference, and we can make it sure that not only for our region, but out of Maharashtra, out of our nation, all the people, all the research oriented people should get joined and prepare a big chain for saving the Mother Earth and coming up with the problems and getting a concrete solution. I can say it's not just discuss and keep it away, but because we have to think of the future generation, which is truly going to affect the as a whole, I can say. So we are the promoters, we are the people, the generation where we have to take care with, we can say, with great responsibility. And I'm sure that you people who are attending the seminar today will surely come up with certain solutions. So I thank all my people who are attending the seminar today, and for behalf of Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Samstha, I surely promise you that if any issues are to be discussed and brought into the implementation, our whole team of Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Samstha will always support as a main pillar for such kind of discussions and implementations. So I welcome and as well as thank you all for attending this seminar. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. So, sir, may I take your permission?
Ma'am, just we are paying vote of thanks for you formally. Our principal ma'am will pay just for 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Then unmute करा, madam.
Unmute करा. Okay करा, madam. सर तुम्ही तिकडे का नाही लागले? सांगतो मॅडमला unmute करायला तुम्ही.
हॅलो
ओके झालं.
गुड मॉर्निंग. ज्ञान
Good
विज्ञान आणि
morning.
सुसंस्कार यासाठी शिक्षण प्रसार शिक्षण महर्षी डॉक्टर बापूजी साळुंके, संस्था माता सुशीला देवी साळुंके, यूथ आयडॉल श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद आनंद अँड फ्रीडम फायटर काकासाहेब चव्हाण पेइंग हर्बल ट्रिब्यूट to the sacred memories of them. On the behalf of Kakasaheb Chavan College, Talmavale, I would like to extend a vote of thanks to all who have been part of today's event. First, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our distinctiveness guest, respected Principal Abhay Kumar Salunke Sahib, and respected Chandrakant Dada Patil, our valuable insight and support. It's making this event truly special. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Principal Shubhangitai Gaude Madam for gracing us with the present today and inauguration on one-day online multidisciplinary conference. Thank you, Madam. Thanks all the participate in this inauguration program. I also thank all of you.
हो एक मिनिट.
तर त्यांना unmute च ठेवा.
Thank you, madam. Your inspiration always motivates us. Thank you, madam, once again. To set the stage, we have the honor of hearing from Dr. Pramod Kamble, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Rajasthan Central University, Bandar Sindri, Rajasthan, who has been a pioneer in environmental sustainability and has made significant contribution towards it. Let's welcome Dr. Pramod Kamble sir with a virtual round of applause. I request Dr. Digambar Bhise sir to introduce and welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Pramod Kamble sir.
Thank you, Patil ma'am. I welcome Dr. Pramod Kamble sir. Dr. Pramod Kamble sir is very in-depth person with this issue, that is environmental studies. He has worked apart from his academic career in the society. He has a great involvement in the society for environmental issues and the possible solutions that we could find. And he has also good academic career. He has worked before this, that is in Rajasthan University, in the Pune University, and before that he has worked in the Shivaji University as in the environmental department as an assistant professor. Now presently he is an associate professor. He has published several research articles which have some value in the sense of environmental studies, and he has also presented several papers in the national and international conferences, and he has given his speech or his lectures in such kind of national conferences. I welcome him to give us a delight of his thoughts. Thank you.
Good morning. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You are quite audible.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me for this very nice conference organized by the Kakasaheb Chavan College, Patan. And I'm very much happy because I'm a part of Swami Vivekananda Education Sanstha. So I am an alumni of Swami Vivekananda Sanstha. So I have completed my 12th standard in MEDA, Swami Vivekananda Sanstha College, MEDA. So Deepali Patil Madam, Principal Dr. Shubhangi Gowde Madam, then another keynote speaker, Basappa Shankar Kamble sir, and President of the Sanstha, Usha Devi Salunke, Principal, Kakasaheb Chavan College, Talmavale. And I guess very nice introduction has been given by the Usha Devi Salunke madam, because since belongs from the environmental background, and she has highlighted certain important topics related to the environmental problems those are happening, and also she has emphasized on the possible solution to that particular problem. And today I'm going to talk about very important subject that is related to our food security, and it is kind of without that particular thing we are not going to survive on the living planet Earth. That is called as a agriculture sector and soil restoration. Since our topic of the conference is innovation for sustainable development and restoration of environment, and everyone is talking about the you can say the conservation and restoration of the degraded ecosystem. And for that, human being is largely responsible. Whatever the anthropogenic activities are that is happening for the developmental perspective, they are causing huge amount of damage to the ecosystem as such, and degradation of environment is happening like anything. So because of that, I have chosen this particular topic, and it's very much related to our day-to-day life, and you will understand it very nicely because it is related to food. No land, no food. Okay. So can I share my Mrs. sir?
You can share your PPT, sir.
Yes, yes. Sorry. Let me. Okay. I'm in lecture now. Sir, can you see my slides? Business, sir?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is visible.
Okay. Okay. Are they moving backward, forward?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now we are going to talk about soil ecology and restoration approaches and why we need to think about soil as an ecosystem. So what makes up the soil? There are certain questions. Like very first question will be what makes up soil? What lives there? And what kind of life is there and how it is basically useful for the human goods, production of human goods. Where does soil come from? How does soil contribute to the ecological community of the place? These are some of the important issues that we need to understand before looking at the importance of the soil. Then, if you look at the definition of soil, the science deals with the soil as a natural resource on the surface of the earth, including pedology, where very significantly we study the soil genesis, classification, mapping, and in case of edapology, we do study physical, chemical, and biological and fertility properties of soil, and it is having close relation with the management of the crop production. And most of the people or most of the countries are totally rely upon this particular natural resource in order to produce crop production, in order to fulfill the food security, which is much needed nowadays. Then some terms we should learn before talking about the soil. So ecosystem, what is ecosystem? It is an interacting natural environment which includes all the animals and plant life that is found in the environment. And if you look at the principle of the ecosystem, ecosystem is interlinked. It is if anything changes, it affect everything. And this is what happening in the real life. So definition of organic. So organic what like material that contain carbon compounds. And most living things contain carbon compounds, including human being. And then inorganic compounds, that material and the minerals that are not product of organic life. So, but most of the minerals are being mineralized due to the biological activity. And for that, certain amount of organic agents are responsible, but they are interlinked to each other. Then soil fertility. So soil fertility is based on the nutrient supplying properties of soil, and the circulation of nutrients is very crucial part of the soil fertility. Then soil chemistry plays a very important role in maintaining the circulation. So chemical constituents, chemical properties, and the chemical reaction which are happening within the soil ecosystem are playing very important role in order to maintain the equilibrium within nutrient content. Then soil physics, it involves the study of the physical properties. It may include bulk density, soil texture, because it is having close relationship between the changes which are occurring due to the anthropogenic activities, and it will indicate soil physical properties are mostly indicating the real situation of the soil ecosystem. And next is soil microbiology. Yes, it is like we like consider here microorganism and their population classification and their role in the transformation, because microbial agents are very responsible for mineralization of so many nutrients. And soil conservation is like it is dealing with the protection of soil against physical loss by erosion or against chemical deterioration. And excessive loss of nutrient, either natural or artificial means, is happening. And for that, the term soil conservation like plays a very crucial role. So everyone, like if it really would like to have a restoration mechanism, before implementing restoration mechanism, you should understand the soil conservation mechanism. And next is pedology. Already it is mentioned pedology, where we are dealing with the genesis and survey and classification of the soil as such. Am I audible, sir? Bisha sir? Hello.
Sir, you are audible, sir. You are quite
Okay.
audible. Go on.
Okay. Okay. So in between, just inform me whether if it is anything there. Huh? The soil composition. So we know normal composition of soil. It contains 25% air, 25% water, 45% minerals, and 5% organic matter. And if this particular normal composition of soil got changes or get changes, it will affect the fertility of the soil. And because of that, we have to maintain this normal composition of soil in a superior manner so that we can have a normal structure and normal functioning of the soil ecosystem. And then soil layer, what is the role of soil layer? So pore spaces for exchange of gases, and it is basically required for the osmoregulation process, which is inhibited by the so many bacteria and fungi. And in order to mineralize the nutrient, they do require to have a supply of the oxygen. Through pores, that particular mechanism has been uh, like occurs in a soil ecosystem. Okay, then soil water stored in a soil what for plant use, and obviously it contains some amount nutrients and it acts as a nutrient solution for the plant growth, and it very nicely supplies the nutrient to the soil, and soil solid is also called as the soil solution. Soil organic matter, so organic material and biological life that is incorporated into the soil. It is like one of the very important agent which maintain the carbon and nitrogen ratio. Then soil minerals, rocks and soil particles that make up the soil solids, and these minerals are the best source of the various kind of the nutrients. Then formation of soil, how it is being formed. There are various kind of the factors are responsible for that particular process. The soil formation process of two consecutive methods. One is through weathering of rock into regolith and formation of true soil from regolith. So first step will be the accomplished by weathering, disintegration and decomposition. And then second step is associated with the action of soil forming factors. Let us see what are the factors. First one is the weathering of rocks, physical, chemical, and biological, right? So these are the three main component of the soil forming mechanism. So we do know what is exploitation, freeze and thaw, abrasion, root expansion. These are the type of the physical weathering which are responsible for the weathering of the rock, and ultimately when weathering process occurs through physically, there are some kind of the particles converted into soil. Then chemical carbonation, dissolution, hydrolysis, oxidation reduction. These are the chemical process responsible for the weathering mechanism. Then microorganisms, yes, biological mechanism plays a very crucial role because the lower types of the plants and animals, including mosses and bacteria and fungi and actinomycetes, like plays very crucial role in early stage of the mineral decomposition and soil formation. So if you look at these mosses and lower plants, they do extract nitrogen from air and atmospheric moisture for the growth purpose. And due course of time, the soil develops under cluster of these microorganisms. And these microorganisms closely linked with the decomposition of the plant and animal debris. And thus it releases nutrients for the use of next generation plants and also produces very significantly CO2 and organic compound. And later on, this particular production which helps to the decomposition of minerals very significantly. I would say the primary succession is the best example of the biological mechanism because lower plants is largely responsible for developing life on the bare rock or bare atmosphere, and later on after subsequently it provides the conducive atmosphere for the secondary succession, and this is how the primary succession subjected to secondary succession, and ultimately it reaches to the climax community. So again, this is another very important thing we need to understand here, an ecological process that helps to restore the ecosystem. These are the example for like chemical, the pictures of the chemical, so physical, biological, and weathering process. Then weathering factors. What are the weathering factors? So Dukachev, a Russian soil scientist, 1889, established the soil forming factor formula, that S is equal to F PClO. And later on, the Jenny 1940 formulated new equation based on the existing equation, that is S is equal to F ClO where Cl is environmental climate, O is organism and vegetation, R is a relief or topography, P is a parent material, and T is a time. And additional unspecified factors, it may be climatic changes or sudden changes are there. The next is horizons. These are some of the horizons, and it is varies according to the soil and topography, but it is a normal structure of the soil or horizon. So O horizon, it is considered as the organic layer, or sometimes it is called the organic soil. And top soil, A horizon A, the mineral soil horizon on the surface with the organic matter and low clay. E is the horizon of maximum leaching, not in all soils, but in present and located between the A horizon, and it's called as leaching horizon. So subsoil horizon most often located below A horizon, but it is having a more clay accumulation mechanism over there, and because of it is called as a accumulation zone. And see the weathered rock, like maybe you can say the bedrock, or maybe there are various weathered rock is there, and it is very significantly contributing the soil forming process, and are the hard consolidated rock beneath the soil. So these are some of the zones of the soil and that we need to understand. And while looking at the restoration perspective, these particular zones can play very important role. So approaches of the soil study, there are two concepts being used to study the soil. One is pedological approach, another is edapological approach. Okay. So in pedology, already did mention, if we do study the soil genesis and mapping of the soil, and edapological factor, we are basically looking at the soil properties such as pH, physical-chemical properties. Those are basically indicating the quality of the soil, and through them we can very nicely understand the variability in soil productivity and find way to improve it. Why soil ecology? Why we need to consider soil ecology? A very important thing, that is, in 21st century, the or humanity totally depends upon the products of soil in terms of the food security. So whatever the food that we are getting is totally depend on the soil resource and soil ecological concept. Okay, that is very important thing that we need to understand here. And second thing that we consider soil ecology is very important because it is a pool of biodiversity, and it gives us a very wide opportunity to study the biological diversity concept very significantly, because it's providing habitat to so many microorganisms, flora, fauna. And then soil is an excellent place to study ecology because it is continuously so many interactions are happening within abiotic and biotic factor. And very nicely, if we look at the way of conservation, we have to think about soil ecology, because there are very important, like various kind of the ecological processes are happening, and that ecological processes very nicely can be utilized for implementing soil conservation mechanism. And right now people are doing that, and we are understanding the importance of the soil ecology. Then its scope, what are the scope? Like basically we can study ecosystem, community, population, because it provides opportunity for the ecological study within the soil ecosystem. We can study biochemistry and stoichiometry simultaneously. Then habitat, already did mention, it is the habitat of plant root, insects, fungi, microbe, burrowing animals, crustaceans, then various kind of the rodents, animal, like what are the burrowing and earthworms, annelids, etc., etc. Okay, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So another very important concept that most of the people are not understanding, that is carbon and nitrogen ratio. So normal carbon and nitrogen ratio is 24:1 is being considered. And 24 units of carbon and 1 unit of nitrogen. How it is basically utilized? So 8 part of the carbon utilized for the growth of the plant, 8 carbon is utilized for the extraction of water, and 8 part of the carbon utilized for the growth, like stem and strengthening and absorbing the nutrient. And N is also supporting that particular mechanism. So CN ratio is important because due to fact that it is having a direct impact on the residue decomposition and also plays a very important role in the cycling of the nitrogen of our soil. So optimum ratio is 24:4 for the 24:1 for desired decomposition of our crop residue. Whenever think about this particular ratio, those are like basically know what is the organic manure or compost that we produce in our agriculture sector, or maybe household through our household activity or our livestock waste material. So as a being a agriculture person, you can understand the how decomposition mechanism can happen, and this particular development of compost, it is totally depending on the carbon and nitrogen. So not only this, but also in real soil ecosystem, carbon and nitrogen ratio plays a very important role. So these are some of the beneficial activities of the microorganism soil that plays very crucial role in maintaining the structure and ecosystem of the soil. First, decomposition of plant residue, because naturally or as a thumb rule of the ecosystem, the plant residue should go back to the soil, and that plant residue should decompose by the bacteria and fungi and microorganisms. And that's what these particular agents are doing. Then control of nitrogen, I will go to the plant. The very first important mechanism is being done by the bacteria is conversion of organic to mineral forms. So complex organic material is being converted into simpler organic form. So mineralization, most of the microorganisms are basically exhibiting this characteristic of mineralization or decomposition. Then conversion of ammonia to nitrate, nitrifying bacteria are responsible for that. Denitrification of nitrate to nitrogen gas, denitrifying bacteria like facultative and obligate anaerobes are basically responsible or playing the role, very crucial role in this process. The conversion of atmospheric nitrogen gas to organic nitrogen. So nitrogen fixing bacteria, symbiotic and free living. To increase availability of the phosphorus, iron, sulfur, and other elements. For that, some many organisms and mycorrhizal fungi. So already we are using the AM fungi, arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, organic manure, and very significantly it is producing good result. And our part of the area like Kolhapur, Satara, and Sangli district, we are very nicely using making use of such AM based fertilizers. The formation of soil humus, it is again based on the fungi. Soil aggregate formation stability for polysaccharide production, fungi and bacteria. The production of plant growth promoting substances, the primarily bacteria. Then suppression of plant pathogen, general microbial communities, producers of toxins, producers of ion chelators, and then breakdown of the pesticides and other toxic chemicals. So biodegrading bacteria and fungi are largely responsible for this particular mechanism. And I would like to tell here most of the environmental scientists are working in this particular field. Already our president of our Sanstha has mentioned about the bioindicator, and these are the bioindicators. They very nicely indicate the type of the pollution, and we can make use of that bioindicators in order to degrade that pesticides or toxic chemicals which are anthropogenically introduced into a soil ecosystem. The nutrients already did mention, but there are two types of nutrients. One is micronutrients and another is micronutrients. So micronutrients which are required in very large quantity, such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen for growth of plant. And then micronutrients are required in a smaller trace amount like boron, cobalt, chromium, copper, fluoride, iodine, iron, manganese, molybdenum, selenium, zinc, etc. But however, sometimes they act as toxic agents. So environment or like particularly environment and natural ecosystem advocate limitation. If everything is in limit, you will enjoy fullest. And if it is excess in concentration, definitely you will have a negative impact of this particular nutrients. Though they are energy providing agents, they are in, if they are limited quantities, yes, they are very good. If the concentration increases, then definitely they can create some negative impact on the health of the any living organisms. Then this is the carbon cycle. I'm not going to explain it because I'm going to, since I have limited time, 30 minutes, I have to add about that also. And then once you understand this particular mechanism, we need to think about the how carbon cycle works. So there are certain sources like soil is a hub for the carbon sequestration. Then oceans also are storing huge amount of carbon through respiration, photosynthetic activity. Then plant, animal, human being also very significantly contributing in carbon cycle because we are inhaling oxygen and we are giving out carbon, exhaling the carbon, and that carbon is being basically absorbed by the plant and biomass. So this is how the natural system has been built, but more or less like we do know what it is. The nitrogen cycle, there are 6 steps are involved in this particular nitrogen cycle. First is the nitrogen fixation, and a very important source of the nitrogen is the atmospheric nitrogen, and we are getting that nitrogen supply through thunderstorms. During lightning process, we are getting the supply of the atmospheric nitrogen, and it is added into the soil ecosystem, and then it start utilizing the further cycle of the soil ecosystem. Then phosphorus cycle, like phosphorus is not available as such, but it is main source of the phosphorus leaching through leaching of the rock, and then various input provided by the human being through fertilizers, and animals are also responsible for this supply of the phosphorus. Then how to understand the bacterial growth mechanism in and fertilized soil. So this slide that have like graph that I'm showing, it was from my PhD, and I did PhD in Lund University, Sweden, in 2000. I was there from 2009 to 2012. So x-axis indicate relative bacterial growth and y-axis indicate the nutrient addition. So since that this soil we received from the Sarita Frey, Professor Sarita Frey, she was a professor in North Hampshire University, USA, and this part was like hardwood, located nearby hardwood forest area, north part of the USA. And since 1988, this soil have been treated to look at the impact of long-term deposition of the N fertilizers on soil ecosystem. So we collected samples from that area. So N fertilizer, low N, high N. So low N is like 150 kilogram of soil, so nitrogen-based fertilizers per hectare is added, and sorry, 50. Low N is 50, and high N 150 kilogram per hectare addition of nitrogen-based fertilizer was done. So in case of our part of world or India, we do add 250 kilogram per hectare of nitrogen fertilizer. So control has like C addition. If you look at the N addition had shown negative bacterial growth because the excess concentration of N has shown the negative impact or toxic impact on the bacterial growth, and C addition has always resulted into positive control. So very nicely we can think about carbon and nitrogen ratio, how it is good. So the excess nitrogen has shown higher carbon limitation, right? So means the Liebig law of limitation says that the growth is not limited by optimum resource, but it is limited by this scarce nutrient or limited nutrient. So here in case of this particular soil, carbon was a limiting factor for the bacterial growth, and secondary factor for the nutrient like growth of the bacteria was nitrogen. So carbon nitrogen interaction very nicely works in a soil ecosystem. Okay, next. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So now we are going to start with the very interesting topic, that is soil erosion is a burning issue. So how much time I have, sir?
So you can get your time, no problem, no issue. You can complete your topic.
Okay.
You can complete your whatever thought you have.
Okay. Okay. So this soil is critical for the functioning of the terrestrial ecosystem that we know, and it can be defined as the topmost layer and the mixture of weathered rock materials and decomposed organic material. And main important functions being done by the soil ecosystem is a decomposition of organic matter. And already I did previous slides, I mentioned the nutrient cycling also being done by the soil ecosystem. Then approaches of restoration. What are the things that we need to consider while looking at the restoration? Okay, so no action. So in case of no action, but sometimes we consider to a restoration mechanism of degraded ecosystem, it will be too expensive. Let that ecosystem grow on their own. So when such kind of the thing like question comes in front of us, that time you have to think about the no action, because first one is too expensive, maybe too expensive. Second cause may be previous attempts have failed. And third, system may be able to recover on its own. So agriculture fields are best example of returning to the wild to their original form. And it has happened in many places, right? So prohibition of entry of the human being has resulted into development of the forest ecosystem. That means no action can very significantly help to regenerate the forest ecosystem. Then rehabilitation, replace degraded ecosystem with another using simple species assembly. So for example, we can think about introduction of new species. So I would explain it one example of the Yellowstone National Park regeneration. So there were no any carnivorous, and in 1991, like the number of the herbivorous animals like yak, deers, and cows were increased very significantly, while buffaloes and wild bison were increased very significantly, and because of that, the overgrazing of that Yellowstone National Park used to happen. But later on, ecologists consider, like, they understand what is happening, and they introduce the two pair of the wolves in that area, and automatically within 5 years the regeneration of forest area took place. Green area has been developed because due to the protection mechanism, the herds of the bison and herbivores mostly, they occupying like they were restricted. The restriction of the movement of animals or herbivorous animals took place, and very nicely restoration took place. Then river were flowing like anything. Then green area was developed like anything. So this is one rehabilitation of the species or happen in that particular area. So that could be a best example. The videos are available on YouTube. You can have a look on that Yellowstone National Park restoration mechanism or introduction of wolf in Yellowstone Park. Then establish a functioning community on site and restore ecosystem services. So already we need to think about ecological process before rehabilitation something. We have to have a educate knowledge about the ecological processes, whether these ecological processes are going to useful or not. Then partial restoration, restore some ecosystem function and some original species. Start with the hardy local species, leaving rare species for the latter efforts. The complete restoration, restore complete original species composition, structure, and function through comprehensive reintroduction process. So complete restoration means just eradicate everything and develop new composition of this species and structure and the function in that particular area. Then, if you look at this graph, so no action of degraded ecosystem recovers on its own. So on y-axis indicates the biomass nutrient content, and x-axis indicates number of the species of the ecosystem complexity. So we would like to reach the original form of the ecosystem. How we can do that? Yes. So next is no action, continued deterioration. right? So it may happen ki action can lead to the continued deterioration. Either it will go for continued deterioration or it will recover ecosystem very significantly. Then partial will help to the increase the biodiversity or recover the ecosystem. Then how it will happen? Through rehabilitation. Already it mentioned replacement using a few species. Okay. Then replacement using ecosystem, and finally we can do original form. Then this is what basically we need to think in natural process that is occurring in an ecosystem called as a primary succession. Then degradation can minimize through rehabilitation, reclamation of the soil and whatever the ecosystem. Okay, these are some of the principles and approaches that we have to use in order to restore the ecosystem. So incentives for restoration. What are the incentives for restoration? Material benefits. Very important benefit that we can issue, that is economy depends on balance between developed and natural areas. Already we know each and every economic development, because since economy and ecology are the two sides of the same coin, they are interdependent. Then cost of money to clean polluted water, but natural sources provide free. So biological mechanism is such a mechanism we need not to pay a single rupee in order to use them for cleaning the polluted water. Then development impinges on ecosystem function too heavily, the economy and quality of human life deteriorates. Then existential reasons improves personal relation with the nature, especially when conducted at a community level. So we do know in our part of the world, like Western Ghat region, there are tribal community. They are having sacred groves concept, and it is based on the religious and community conservation mechanism. So these are some of the examples of that shows our personal relationship with the nature. Then empower people and stimulate the stewardship. So just aware the people to become a stewardship by taking the stewardship ownership of that particular mechanism, so that they will understand themselves as a part of the nature. As Aldo Leopold, one of the important philosophers said, environmental philosophers said that we have to consider ourselves as a part of ecosystem. Then heuristic reasons. So allow the study of ecosystems are through resemble and trial and error through hypothesis construction is testing. Heuristic so there are many examples. You can become a hero through conducting such kind of research activity. For example, Popotrapawar, Anna Hazare, these are the best examples. They have implemented ecological processes very nicely in order to restore their degraded ecosystem. And likewise, we can think about even you are working with this particular environmental problem solving issue. Yes, this would be the best, I would say, best subject to deal with. And then already I did mention this graph, no need to explain again it. So soil degradation, why it is happening? So what are the causes of soil degradation? Deforestation is very important cause because soil erosion is taking place because of the deforestation. So before understanding this particular restoration mechanism, we have to understand the soil, water, air conservation are interlinked. So plant is basically responsible for soil conservation as well as for water conservation. And in return, soil and water provide conducive atmosphere for the plant growth. And this is how these three segments are very much connected. That particular concept you have to understand. Then improper agriculture, that is happening modern agriculture technologies are causing huge amount of damage and mining activity. So widespread pollution and another very important natural mechanism, that is invasive species are causing huge amount of damage to the soil ecosystem. And obviously extra pressure of human population that is being exhibited on the soil ecosystem, and it is causing huge amount of damage, right? So in order to produce more crop production, we have making use of indiscriminate use of chemical pesticides, and green revolution is the best example, and the consequences of greenhouse still we are facing. So I would quote here the Punjab mail and so many other issues, how people are affected by the serious disease like cancer. Then land needed for agriculture, day by day, land is decreasing because we are converting land into non-agriculture land. Initially, we convert forest ecosystem into agriculture, and now agricultural land we're converting into non-agricultural land in order to build houses, cement jungle, school, colleges, industries, etc. So because of that, available land is declining very rapidly for the agriculture purpose, and that is creating huge amount of pressure on the soil ecosystem, led to loss of micronutrient and soil organic matter. Yes, obviously these kind of things are causing, according to even global assessment, the more than 11% soil has been degraded very seriously because anthropogenic activity. Various sources of pollution affecting soil: atmospheric deposition of depollutants through acid rain, infiltration of contaminated surface water, land disposal of solid and liquid waste material, stockpiles, tailing spoil, dumps, soil spreading on roads, animal feedlots, agrochemical. The already did mention how fertilizers and pesticides are responsible, accidental spills. Then focus of soil conservation. So what are the main things that we have to focus on? Reducing soil erosion, soil stabilization, soil structure, soil fertility, soil organic matter, soil biodiversity. Okay, so we have to use these particular ecological processes in order to conserve our soil. Then these are the some of the things that we need to understand: soil rigidity, soil irritability, and land slope and land management. Then soil conservation. They use appropriate technique to reduce or stop the soil erosion, because it plays a crucial role in securing the food security, right? From the agriculture land, because already did mention we totally depend upon the agriculture sector to fulfill our food need. And it could be a sustainable example. Right now, we are talking about sustainable millennium goals, and more than 17 goals are there, and where very first no poverty, no hunger. So if you really would like to have no hunger and no poverty, invest in agriculture sector. And I'm quite certain in near future, after 10 years or 20 years of the gap, we have to go back to our traditional mechanism, and we have to rely upon agriculture sector, because without food, survival of the human being is not at all possible. Okay, so we have to give much important to the agriculture sector in order to protect our future generation as well as present generation. Then reduce need of for land conversion, turning forest into native ecosystem. So what happening, like right now we are having bunch of non-native species in a forest, and that non-native species are causing damage to the existing ecosystem. So we have to convert forest ecosystem into native ecosystem. And for example, you have to develop certain mini herbal gardens, or you can say if you get barren land, try to maybe they are having medicinal importance. So conservation methods: mulching is a normal mechanism where crop residue can be ground, and using the ground cover can be made using crop residue. And by doing so, very nicely you are adding organic matter into the soil ecosystem, and this will help to maintain the biological activity, carbon and nitrogen ratio, and in balance would be occur over there. So right now we are burning trash, sugarcane trash, or other plant residue, or husk, or wheat husk, or whatever may be plant residue which is developed through our production, our crop production. We are burning. So instead of burning, we should mulch, use that material as a mulching mechanism. So very nicely we can think about the implementation of organic farming. The vegetation cover area, so very nicely grasses are being planted on the surface, right? So slopes, like if you look at the railway roads, very nicely we are using certain kind of the uh, grass varieties in order to avoid the erosion of the roadside erosion. Then evapotranspiration from foliage removes water from the soil that can be stopped. Then vegetation absorb the energy of falling rain. Then protect ground also, act as a protect soil. Then vegetation helps to maintain absorptive capacity, slows the velocity of runoff, and act as a filter to catch sediment. So if you go to the Western Ghat region, so you will see Karwi species. Karwi plant species is basically grows in rainy season only, and that Karwi species very significantly maintain the or restrict the flow of the surface runoff of rainfall which is occurring in Western Ghat, and Western Ghat is because of that Karwi species the soil conservation is happening. Then rapid erosion can be prevented by soil conservation, like contour plowing, strip cropping, terracing, crop rotation. These are some of the mechanisms that can be very nicely utilized. So soil ridges, like contouring is planting crops across the slope to prevent erosion. That is one of the very important mechanism one could use in order to prevent the soil erosion. Then strip cropping, like crop planted alternating bands to protect
Hello, Pramod sir,
the
your voice is lagging behind.
soil
Hello, will you check
by
your
absorbing
internet?
and holding water, because
Hello,
in every
Pramod
uh,
sir.
plant has a different kind of the need. So
Hello,
sometimes of night. Yes, sir. Ah,
your voice is breaking. You are
now.
lagging.
Yes, sir.
Right now,
Yes.
you are audible, but your video is not
Okay.
visible, clearly visible. Please check your internet. नाही येतील ते परत परत जाणार. There is some technical issue with Dr. Pramod Kamble sir. We will get soon.
ठीक आहे सर, येतो का आवाज?
Yes, your voice is audible, quite audible.
ते काय थोडं झूमचं ऑनलाईन चालू राहतं ना त्यांचं काय?
Yes. Go on, sir. It's no problem.
I will finish within 10 minutes now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, now you can see my slides.
Yes, we cannot see your slide, but we can see you. Your slide is not visible.
Sir, you can share your slides, sir.
Yes, it's visible now, sir.
नाही, तुमचं स्क्रीन आहे ना? Okay. Now?
Yes, your screen is visible. Just make it wide.
Okay. Now?
It's visible, but not.
Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, your.
Okay. This is the terracing farming. Normally it is being used in hilly areas like Konkan and some part of Kerala. Then saline soil, the major problem of the basically occurs due to the excess concentration of sodium chloride and osmotic mechanism where very significantly exchange of gases is taking place. And already it mentioned why it is very important exchange of gases. More than 30% of land in India, Pakistan, Iraq, Iran, and Syria, Argentina, Egypt is under threat of the saline soil. And if you look at the United Nations report, 65% irrigated and one-third land support from the salinity. In case of India, or whole world rather, they are totally dependent upon the groundwater for the irrigation purpose, and they are using very excess water for the irrigation. Like in part, like if you take the example of Sangli, Kolhapur district, we are using excess water, and because of that utilization of excess water, land is being converted into saline soil. And on the other hand, in case of drought-prone area, the hard water we are using, where the concentration of sodium, calcium, magnesium, and chloride is very high, and that causes the salinity in soil. Then seed germination and seedling development is very important, but later stage they become tolerance. So crop basically response of crop is very wide. At early stage it affect very rigorously, but later stages that particular plant adapt very significantly and develop tolerance to the salinity. The saline soils can be reclaimed by improving drainage and by soil drainage with the pure water to remove excess water that transpirate the soil water. Okay, desalined water is used. So basically, would like to reclaim, use desalinated water in order to, which is deposited on the surface soil. And I would say saline soil. So there are certain bacteria present in a soil ecosystem that they are indicators of the salinity. For example, Salchicornia rubra, Sarcocornia utanesis, Aleneurophilia occidentalis, Halomonas, and another bacillus species are like there are many other microorganisms, but these are the some of the reported bacteria are there, and that can be utilized very nicely in order to regenerate or reclaim the saline soil, and people are doing that. We are developing biofertilizers using this augmented culture of the microorganisms. Then this is the example how soil organic matter and soil organic carbon is basically useful. So cation exchange capacity is very significantly affected by the soil salinity because it's very much important in soil ecosystem because it maintains the balance of soil ecosystem in order to provide nutrients to the plants because it is buffering mechanism being inhibited by the or exhibited by the cation exchange capacity. Okay, so this is another very important parameter we have to consider while dealing with the soil nutrient, restoration of soil nutrients. Then nitrogen amendment of the fertilizer, soil organic matter input, the inorganic N supply. We have to think about addition of rhizobium, bacterial culture, and fixers. Temperate and like it again also depend on the temperate and tropical conditions. Then phosphorus, like we have to think about phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, which very significantly utilize at phosphorus present in a soil ecosystem. They mineralize very nicely the phosphorus and they provide phosphorus to the plant growth. And also we have to add artificially some amount of phosphorus to the soil. Then already I have mentioned the important beneficial activities of the soil microorganism. I'm not going to repeat it again. The use of microbes as a biofertilizer, bacteria like rhizobium, azotobacter, azospirillum enrich nitrogen ability in soil. Cyanobacteria, autotrophic microbes helpful for the atmospheric nitrogen fixation. For example, Amebena, Nostoc, Oscillatoria. In case of the rice field, we are using that kind of the natural mechanism. Some fungi, those develop symbiotic relationship with the roots of the plants and provide them essential nutrients. For example, arbuscular mycorrhiza, penicillium, get him. Hello, sir. Sir,
Yes, sir.
येतोय ना आवाज?
Yes, sir. You are quite audible. No problem. No issue.
Yes.
Hello. You can
Okay.
continue, sir.
Then, yes. Okay, so already I did mention how fungi culture can be utilized. Okay, so Catium and Trichoderma fungi, like Trichoderma is one of the very important fungi which plays a very important role in order to restrict the activity of the nematode and act as a nematode trapping fungi, because nematode problem is very prevalent in pomegranate and grapes field. And in case of the Sangli, Tajgaon, and some part of fungi based on fertilizer utilized very nicely in order to control the nematodes. Okay. So thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions, sir?
Sir, there will be question and answer session, a separate question and answer session. Not now. After having the speech of you and another resource person, there will be another separate question and answer session, Q&A session.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's over to Dr. Dipali Patil, madam.
Thank you, sir, for shedding light on environmental issues, particular on soil, as well as the critical steps we must take to protect, restore, and conserve our soil. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir. Now I am handovering next sessions to my colleague Irfan Naikaudi, sir. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy this conference. Thank you.
सभी को नमस्कार। आज के इस पर्यावरण पुनरुत्थान और शाश्वत विकास के नवाचार एक दिवसीय राष्ट्रीय बहुविषयक आवासीय सम्मेलन में यहाँ आवासीय मंच पर मैं इरफान नायकोड़े, अध्यापक विभाग काकासाहेब चव्हाण कॉलेज तळमावले। मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर? विषय सर?
यस सर,
मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना?
आपकी आवाज आ रही है सर।
जी सर, जी सर, धन्यवाद। हिंदी विभाग काकासाहेब चव्हाण कॉलेज तळमावले। सभी उपस्थित प्रमुख अतिथिगण, प्रमुख वक्ता, शोध लेखक, प्रतिभागी, आयोजक, मेरे सहकर्मी और हमारी प्रेरणा एवं मार्गदर्शिका महाविद्यालय की प्रधानाचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर उषा देवी साळुंके मैडम जी का तहे दिल से मैं यहाँ पर स्वागत करता हूँ। लगभग 1.5-2 घंटे से यहाँ तक कार्यक्रम सुचारू रूप से चलाने और आगे की कड़ी मेरे हाथों में सौंपने वाली महाविद्यालय की सहकर्मी दीपाली पाटिल मैडम जी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। धन्यवाद मैडम। शुद्ध पर्यावरण, स्वस्थ जीवन, ये पशु पक्षी जीव अनेक विराजमान, ये सुंदर धरती, ये रंग बिरंगा आसमान, यही तो है स्वस्थ मनुष्य की पहचान। अगर हमें स्वस्थ जीवन जीना है तो हमारे द्वारा हो रहे पर्यावरण और उसमें जीवन यापन करने वाले सभी जीवों को उनके तरीके से जीवन जीने देना चाहिए। हमें इस पर्यावरण और अन्न चक्र को सुरक्षित रखना चाहिए। आज की सम्मेलन का विषय चुनने की जरूरत इसी कारण है कि मनुष्य के द्वारा स्वार्थ के कारण पर्यावरण के चक्र को कहीं ना कहीं आहत किया जा रहा है। इसी संदर्भ में आगे चर्चा को बढ़ाते हैं। अधिक समय न लेते हुए आज के दूसरे प्रमुख अतिथि जो हमें मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित हैं, डॉक्टर बसप्पा शंकर कांबळे जी, इनका परिचय देने के लिए मैं हमारे आईक्यूसी कोऑर्डिनेटर डॉक्टर भिशे सर जी से विनती करता हूं कि वे अतिथि का परिचय दें। भिशे सर जी।
Thank you sir for giving me this opportunity. I welcome another resource person, Dr. Basappa Shankar Kamble. This resource person is presently working as a principal in KLE Society's SSM Arts, Science and Commerce College, Athani, Karnataka. before this, he has played his role in several administrative posts, and along with that, his educational qualification is in accordance with the fields such as that he has got some educational awards, that is UK Dhariwal, and then KE Societies, BSc College, Chicolis, another award. Then he has some UGC MRPs he has conducted, and that's his PhD guide of Karnataka University. He has conducted several research projects. He has published several articles in renowned research journals, and also presented his research papers in national and international conferences. He has given deliverance of lectures or speeches in the national and international conferences. So we do have such kind of in-depth knowledge person or personality for having discussion with us. I welcome him once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
आवाज आ रही है सर?
हाँ,
आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद सर। बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, मिल जाए नदी तो समंदर की तलाश करो। टूट जाता है शीशा पत्थर की चोट से, लेकिन टूट जाए पत्थर ऐसे शीशे की तलाश करो। आज यहाँ पर बसप्पा कांबळे सर जी हमें मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए उपस्थित हैं। मैं उनसे विनती करता हूँ कि वे अपने विचार रखें। कांबळे सर जी, बसप्पा कांबळे सर जी।
okay. Thank you. Just wait. I will share the screen. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Sir, screen is visual.
Sir, you are audible, but voice is quite low. So please increase volume of your voice.
Just I will raise that voice. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right now?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Okay. Good morning to everybody for interesting and having concern with the ecology, environment, and sustainability of ecosystem in India. And myself is Dr. B.S. Kamble, principal working in the Kerala Society's SSMH College Athri. And today, it is my great privilege to sharing some of the views, aspects, facts and figures regarding the climate change at a global level as well as India with regard to the economic system or economic development, so on and so forth. So my presentation is consisting all these aspects: introduction about the climate change and basic concepts, and how this climate change awareness arises in the minds of the people in the world. Next, economic impact of climate change, its cost and sustainability. And again, I focused on the 10 danger countries where the climate change is vulnerable, and 10 least countries where the climate change is very less compared to other countries of the world. Then I will go to the next slide, that economic impact of CC in India, and I also presented some views from the different thinkers, expertise, and reports about the climate change in India. Then I will put some few aspects, National Action Plan for Sustaining Environment in India, and then end with this conclusion. it consisting 30 slides. Let me see this, the concept of this particular climate change. Climate change is refers to the long-term effect on the earth, ranging from environmental stability to social equality, economic prosperity, public health, and so on and so forth. But one thing we have to remember, one thing we have to take into consideration and remember, the impact is not only on global economy, but local too, because the climate change taking place in different areas, in different regions, in different countries, but that's impact all over the world, our whole world, or from one region to another region. That is why every country immediately in present scenario take effective efforts at international level, national level, local level, so as to mitigate the effects of climate change on different fields. So if we failed right now at present, in present economic scenario or economic environment, ecosystem, environment, etc., if we fail to address the climate change, definitely it will lead to the irreversible, non-manageable, non-executing damages, that is effects on the all fields, that is ecosystem, economies, and human population, even that is for the future generation too. So next, if you look into the concept of climate change refers to long-term changes in the Earth's climate system. So here the climate system is simply that refers to the complex system. Climate system is a complex system where integrating parts that includes the atmosphere, oceans, land, ice, and living things, animals, including the animals and human beings. Then let me see the climate system in India as well as the world. This is the picture which shows atmosphere, then other things. From this, we can know what it contains, what it includes, what is the scope, what are the spares or parts of the climate system in the country as well as in the world. Then next, I will just start with the that is climate. Yes, the major drivers of the causes for the what you call the climate change is CO, then methane, then N2, nitrogen, etc. And all these lead to the rise in the global temperature as well as the local temperature. The warming leads to the number of bad environmental impacts on the earth. It includes melting ice caps, then rising sea levels, more frequent and severe weather events like heat waves, storms, drought, and floods. And the changes in ecosystem, disruptions to human societies. So basically, for all these, the damages, the human caused, because the human is working towards the economic growth, the people or the country or the policymakers, doing towards the economic growth or the growth of the country, growth of the world. Simultaneously, this growth is to all these climate change, economies, and public health. The next, if you look at the origin of the ecosystem, usually 2000 years back, the people were aware about this ecosystem. They pray to the land as well as the trees, nature, etc. But actual awareness, the effects start from the 1824 from Joseph Fourier. He was identifies the greenhouse effect. Then next, in 1859, John Tyndall, the CO2. In 1896, then another person estimated the impact of CO2 carbon. Then 1950 to 1960, that is one more person, that atmosphere, he prepared the curve, and from that curve he explained the effect of CO2 on the earth. Then in 1988, that IPCC formation came into existence to study about the climate change as well as the prepare the policies for the control. The next is economic impact of CC, that is climate change on world economy or on the world or on the globe. So we have these parameters we use here. Impact factor, that is on which field the CC impact. Then second, what is the reason? And third, what will be the loss due to the climate change? Then last one is sustainability concerns. What we concerned to sustain the ecosystem or climate change in the world or in the country. If you look into the some parameters that the agriculture, industry, transport, then biodiversity, all these are the comes under the economic aspects or parameters. I will take one by one here. Agriculture losses. So because of the extreme weather droughts, there is an adverse impact on the crop yields, livestock, and fisheries. Earlier speaker, Kamble sir, has been presented very well regarding the agriculture, cropping, and other things. So this is what they happening in present day. It declined or it reduces the crop yield, livestock, and fisheries, etc. Even the growing seasons also changes. Rainy season, winter season, summer season. Now we are experiencing with this present what you call the generation. Then if you look into the cost of this particular impact, climate change impact, estimated that 30,000 billion to 75,000 billion annually by 2030 across the world because of this what you call climate impact on agriculture. This is estimated by IPCC. Then its impact or sustainability needs like this. Reduced food production may lead to food insecurity. This is a very dangerous aspect, a dangerous situation in coming days if we not look into the that is control or look into the sustain or manage the CC. So we have also, that is 13 number in SDG framework made by the US in 2015. Climate action is one of the important goals where the global, all the people can take into care about the climate change. Then if you go to the next, this is solar, 1 minute, sir, it is not visible.
Sir, it's visible.
Title is not missed there, sir. One,
Your slide is visible.
1 minute, sir.
We are not sure about the content. You check from your side.
Is not.
So should we move to another slide?
Title is not available.
Sir,
And put on slideshow mode.
Slideshow.
Slideshow. Put on slideshow mode.
1 minute.
त्यांनी केली का त्यांच्याकडून ओके आपण नाही करते काय ओके ठीक
सेकंड yes yes sir. Okay. Then second economic aspect is energy sector disruptions. Extreme weather events, changing energy demand and translating to renewable energy create economic stress. So the CC that lead to the economic stress on the different what you call the fields, particularly that will be now leads to the cost of this maintenance from there is $10 billion annually in North America that is estimated by the National Academy of Climate Change. Then if you look into the effect, lack of renewable energy in future days will be occurred. So impede the long-term sustainability by this rising that climate changes in the world as well as in local countries or at national level. The next, if you take the another important parameter or aspect of the economy, damage to infrastructure. Damage to infrastructure. Here, the climate change will also lead to the damage or destruction in infrastructure in terms of roads, bridges, energy, schools, colleges, factories, so on and so forth. So, the loss incurred by this particular damage estimated that globally $1 trillion $1 trillion to $1 trillion by 2050. Okay, that this will increase the cost of rebuilding infrastructure and also hinder the development of the economy. And third economic aspect is that next one. This is damage of next one. Fourth one. One minute, sir. So fourth economic impact is health cost. Health cost also increases due to the climate change. The change in the climate, it issues health related diseases like illness, infectious diseases and other diseases. And for this, there will be cost incurred for the maintenance of the global health. About to be $2.4 billion annually by 2030 with indirect economic losses. So this may lead to the overburdened healthcare system and reduce the productivity and development of the country. The next, if you take into consideration, then the high risk insurance in high risk. This is another what you call the CC impact. More frequent natural disasters and extreme weather events raise insurance premiums and risk exposure. So estimated cost loss incurred by the world estimated at $500 billion annually by 2050. And then reduce the availability of insurance risk and hinder the long-term resilience and growth. ಇದು ಅರ್ಧ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್
ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ
ಎಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಫುಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಏನೋ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ
ಎಸ್ ಓಕೆ hello sir.
Yes sir.
May I audible now?
Yes sir, you are audible.
I'm making the full screen because some problems are there in the slides.
Yes, sir,
right?
that happens in Zoom meeting. No
Insurance and risk management costs that incurred that is estimated that $500 billion annually by 2050. The next sixth, loss of biodiversity. It is another impact. The changing climate disturbed or that is effect on the ecosystems affecting biodiversity, fisheries and tourism industries in the world. And it was estimated by the institution that World and Forum that is $14 trillion per year loss due to this biodiversity to the countries of the world. And because of this, there is a declining ecosystem, reduced long-term resources availability, ecological services, impacting sustainable development. It is not possible to sustain the existing ecosystem due to this changing climate through that biodiversity. The next, seventh one is supply chain disruption. So the supply chain also affects through extreme weather altered agricultural output and resource scarcity. These are the two aspects through which the supply chain disturbed. Supply chain breaks its continuous operation. And according to this, that World Bank, the total loss incurred by the world through the supply chain disturbance ranges from $50,000 to $100 billion annually. And this reduced the efficiency of global production and also economic integration. The eighth aspect is migration and displacement costs. Whenever the climate changes take place and effects on the other economic fields, then there is a need for what you call migration of people from one place to another place. And because of this, say about $200 billion annually loss take place during coming days by 2050s. So this migration increases pressure on urban centers, social services, infrastructure, leading to unstable growth or underdevelopment of all the economic activities in the world as well as in the country. Then if you look into the other aspects regarding the tourism also one of the important field affected from the climate change in the local as well as global level. And then it was estimated because of the climate change, the tourism loss is 1.3 trillion by 2050. This much of loss we can incur in coming days due to this CC on tourism. Again, there is a loss of natural attractions, hampers sustainable tourism development and local economies. And then if you look into the last aspect, water supply, then water is one of the important requirement for the sustenance of human beings as well as the development of the country in industry, agriculture, so on and so forth. And this is also adversely affect from the CC. Then economic loss incurred due to the climate change regarding the water supply and water availability is accounted that 5.6 trillion annually by 2050. That is estimated by World Bank. Then because of this, water use and scarcity impact on agriculture production, human health, and industrial process. Then if you look to the countries, those have vulnerable, that is top 10 countries, those who have in danger position in the world are Pakistan is the first one, Philippines, Bangladesh, Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, Nepal. Ours is 8th rank as far as climate change is concerned across the world, and Dominican Republic, then Madagascar. All these are the countries having the adverse effects on danger zone or unsustainability their economic system. And all these are the countries who are danger zone because of all these reasons. Geographical location in terms of coastal areas, tropical regions, lower adaptive capacity, economic dependency on sectors like agriculture, industry, and other fields. Then last one is experience high levels of exposure to extreme weather events like floods, cyclones, and droughts. And least countries, those have no problem of CC, that is climate change or effect, including Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Estonia, Ireland, Switzerland, New Zealand, and Australia. So these are the countries having the least, effect of climate change in the world. And all these are the reasons why they are having that least, climate change effect. Robust infrastructure is there, higher adaptivity. It is not found in the earlier countries. Then many of them also have colder climates. This is another what you call the aspect, make them the least concerned about the climate adverse effects. Then if you next, if you look into the Indian economic system, all whatever we report at international level or global level across the countries of the world, just we focus 2 or 3 minutes about the India's economic impacts or by the climate change. Let me see the agriculture losses as estimated by the World Bank. India lost 10% of its GDP by 2021 due to extreme weather events. So this is what leads to the food problem, hunger in coming days, and it may not be helped to achieve the agenda of US, that is SD, Sustainable Development Goals 2015. Then water scarcity by 2030, 40% of India's population could face water scarcity as per estimation made by the Niti Ayoga. Then annually, the $40 billion costs required for the sustenance of water in our country. Then heat waves and productivity, we look into this. By 2030, 10% annually, okay, labor productivity declined, and there the cost required for maintenance is 37 billion by 2030. That is estimated by the World Bank. Then if you take the health cost in India compared to world, it leads to that is loss incurred by the country for maintaining the health 1.6 billion annually. That is estimated by IPCC. Then coastal impact is also estimated by Indian Ministry of Earth Sciences. By 2050, $300 billion loss will be incurred in India due to this, what you call the climate change. Then next, if we take 3 aspects, the fields of economic aspects. Infrastructure damage. By 2030, climate-related infrastructure damage it could cost up to $9 billion annually. Annually, 2030, you can take 5 years into 9. That much of amount we lost from the GDP to maintain the infrastructure in our country. Then again, International Renewable Energy Agency estimated that renewable energy investment increases by $20 billion by 2030. Then cyclone damage, if you look into that, the cost estimated that which was caused by the flooding and droughts, etc. $6 billion annually we have to spend to maintain the control the cyclone damages or the damages made by these particular climate change. Then if you come to the some views made by the expertise and surveys regarding the climate change, the Economic Survey of India 2018 and 19, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, estimated that about the economic system, and the survey estimated that climate change could reduce India's GDP by 2.8% by 2050. So when we analyze these things, the question arises: is we achieved the economic development and make India the third or first or second superpower country in the world by 2050 or somewhere in some periods? So that is the real thinking nowadays. And policy recommendation made by this already that Kamlesh sir has find out all these, the agriculture policies, water management and cropping pattern, etc. And renewable energy transition also. Renewable energy investment suggested by this committee in terms of the solar energy and other sources. Then one more that is the report NIPFP 2019 also estimated or said that same thing in GDP loss, but regional disparities increases due to climate change, particularly in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Maharashtra, including the Maharashtra also, that according to the statement, the adverse effects by the CC, and then water scarcity also takes place, heat waves also increases, then the cost of inaction also increases, that is towards the climate adaptation and mitigation measures, etc. Then next, the Minister of Environment and also sharing its views in its report, greenhouse gas emissions. It highlights that emissions have increased over the years due to economic growth, but also outlines India's commitments reducing carbon intensity. Some measures they have suggested here: climate resilience, climate assistance, etc. Then, if we look into the some measures taken by the government of India towards the control of or sustenance of climate change, national missions in 2018, all these are the the steps taken by the government of India. National Solar Mission to provide the solar energy, renewable resources to sustain the existing climate change. National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency to promote the energy efficiency. National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture to develop the agriculture. Then National Water Mission to provide the water or conserve water, etc. National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, promote the sustainable urban planning. National Mission for Green India, where the forest and green covered policies made. Then Indian Mission on Strategic Knowledge and Climate Change, promote research and knowledge sharing about the climate change and etc., which is very less among the people. As earlier speaker mentioned, there is a close, we have to establish the close relation between human beings and the forest and other ecological or environment system of the country or the nation. Then the National Mission on Adoption. This is another measure taken by the government of India. So according to this, the mitigation and adoption are the two measures we can adopt nowadays to sustain the ecological system in the country. Then if you look into the SDGs, according to SDGs, that is 17 goals are there. Among them, 13 number goal is climate action. This is provide good number of measures across the world to control the climate change or sustain the climate change in the country by 2030. Then finally, just we conclude about this particular issue regarding the environment or ecological system. Then climate change is a global issue, not is at a village level or local level. Global issue, it vulnerability or danger or the spread in the region or country is adversely impact on whole globe or society or economy or from one region to another region, etc. So all the affected areas, affected governments, affected countries and non-affected countries should have to contribute for the sustenance of ecology or the climate so as to maintain the adverse effects on different fields of the economy. So its sustainability is primarily in the hands of the people in the development scenario, government policies, awareness and future concern. So this is what about the climate change at national, international level, some views and policies, etc. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello.
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 May I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
You are quite audible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to sharing a few aspects or few thoughts about the climate change and the economic system at a global and national level and views by the different expertise in our country and what we can do for the next generation regarding the climate change and sustainability of ecology, environment, etc. Thank you for organizers giving me opportunity in this occasion. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद कांबळे सर जी, आपने अपने अनमोल विचारों से हमें परिचित कराया पर्यावरण और उसके महत्व को नए अंदाज में हमारे सामने खड़ा किया है। क्लाइमेट चेंज है, वैश्विक तापमान जो पर्यावरण में बदलाव हो रहे हैं, इसका एक परिणाम अन्य देशों पर किस प्रकार से हो रहा है, उसके कई देशों के नाम भी आपने बनाए, उसकी परिस्थिति वर्तमान समय में कैसी, यह भी जानकारी दी है। आंकड़ों के साथ आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से जो रिसेंट आंकड़े हैं, जो वर्तमान समय के अनेक सूची के संदर्भ के माध्यम से आपने हमें जानकारी दी है। धन्यवाद पुनः एक बार। अब कार्यक्रम को थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ाते हैं और सभी भागियों को बोलने का अवसर प्रदान करते हैं। इस पेपर प्रस्तुति सत्र के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर रामेश्वर राठौड़, सहायक प्रोफेसर अंग्रेजी विभाग, लाल बहादुर शास्त्री कॉलेज सातारा, शोध मार्गदर्शक शिवाजी विश्वविद्यालय। इस सत्र में कुछ प्रतिभागी अपने पेपर की प्रस्तुति करने वाले हैं। कुछ प्रतिभागियों ने अपने नाम यहाँ पे दिए हैं। मैं पुजारी सर से विनती करता हूँ कि वे नाम फिर से एक बार दोहराए और जो प्रतिभागी अभी तैयार हैं प्रस्तुति के लिए, वे प्रस्तुति करें। पुजारी सर,
ओके सर।
राठौड़ सर जी से बात कीजिए और एक बार।
राठौड़ सर।
रामेश्वर राठौड़ सर जी, इस सत्र के अध्यक्ष सातारा कॉलेज। रामेश्वर राठौड़ जी, क्या आपको हमारी आवाज आ रही है? राठौड़ सर जी उपस्थित हैं?
उपस्थित है और उन्हें आस्किंग टू अनम्यूट किया है, अभी वो अनम्यूट करेंगे।
जी सर, जी सर, जी सर। व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे प्रतिभागी जो पेपर प्रस्तुति करने वाले हैं, उनके नाम हमने वहां पे फिर से एक बार दोहराए हैं। वे अपने पेपर प्रस्तुति के लिए तैयार हो जाएं, या फिर यहाँ पर हैंड राइज कर सकते हैं जो अभी तैयार हैं। मैं विनती करता हूँ और एक बार, पेपर प्रस्तुति के लिए जिसने नाम दिए हैं वे तैयार हो जाए।
तो रंजित कुमार सर, आप पेपर प्रेजेंट करने के लिए तैयार है?
हेलो,
डॉक्टर रंजित सर,
अनम्यूट कराइए सर करना।
आई एम आस्किंग टू अनम्यूट।
वीडियो आणि ऑडिओ दोन्ही।
आगे के नाम लीजिए सर।
डॉक्टर
सर रामेश्वर आहे, त्यांचा व्हिडिओ ऑन आहे।
हाँ,
नका टाकू, डॉक्टर नका टाकू। समोर दोन्ही करा अनम्यूट।
Excuse me, sir. This is Dr. Ranjit Kumar.
हेलो।
Sir, this is Dr. Ranjit Kumar.
यस सर।
Sir, am I?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You
You
are
can start
audible.
your presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Please. Right, sir. I'd like to share my screen share. Just wait a minute.
Sir, you will have 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, does my screen is visible? Hello? Dear sir, am I audible? Hello? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Your audio is audible, but your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay. 1 minute, sir. Let me share again.
Can you start your video firstly and then share your screen, sir?
Okay, 1 minute, sir. Is this clear? Is it clear, sir? Am I visible? I opened my video also.
Now you can share your screen, sir.
Okay, sir.
राठौड़ सर कुठे?
Yes, sir, I am sure.
Sir, हमारा sir.
Is it visible, sir? My screen is?
Your video is visible, sir. Can you share your screen, sir?
Yes, sir, I shared my screen, but still it is not visible. 1 minute. Let me try again.
Sir, if it's possible, you can go without PPD.
Okay, sir,
You
I'll
don't have
proceed
time.
with. Yes, yes, I don't put that time, right? Then okay, sir. This is Dr. Ranjit Kumar. I'm a lecturer in history, working as a lecturer in history, Government Degree College, Kambam. Right now, actually, I am on the way to my college. That's what I could not. Open my video. Right now, I'm presenting. So today, I'm going to speak on a study on exploration of natural resources and its impact on cultural heritage. As part of this, as we know, exploitation of natural resources, development is very important aspects in present globalized world, because without natural resources the development cannot take place. In this scenario, exploitation of natural sources without thinking about the future generations, and it is creating some sort of disturbances to the cultural heritage. In this scenario, I would like to explain in what way the natural resources are being exploited and how they are creating some sort of impact, particularly negative impact on the cultural heritage. So, as part of this, the first and foremost important aspect in the natural exploitation, resource exploitation, is mining. So, the mining and archaeological destruction is quite often taking place in the present industrial world. Mining operations, particularly those involving in the pit extractions, have significantly disturbed archaeological sites and historical landscapes. In this scenario, there are many examples, particularly, I would like to speak about Indian scenario. Mining activities in India have had a profound impact on several heritage sites, which is leading to the both direct and indirect damage. One prominent example is, World Heritage Site in India, one of the important sites is Hampi, which is in Karnataka. The unregulated quarrying and mining operations in the vicinity of this particular area have caused structural instability, vibration induced damage, and landscape alterations, which is threatening to the architectural integrity of the 14th century Vijayanagara Empire capital. Similarly, iron ore mining in Goa has led to the deforestation and habitat destruction, indirectly affecting the cultural traditions of indigenous communities that rely on these landscapes for religious and ritual purposes. And the next important aspect in the natural exploitation, deforestation. Deforestation and indigenous cultural erosion is another disastrous activity happening all over the world. In case study of India, particularly in ecologically sensitive regions like the Western Ghats and the Northeast, which has significantly impacted on the indigenous cultural practices. So the destruction of sacred groves, postcode areas traditionally protected by local communities for religious and cultural reasons, has led to the erosion of indigenous spiritual and ecological knowledge. And it is the reason why many tribal communities such as Dongriya, Khond in Odisha region and Khasis in Meghalaya region has faced displacement due to deforestation for mining and infrastructure projects. And the next important aspects, industrialization and urban expansion, which are major causes for the cultural displacement which is taking place. So, as part of these, natural exploitations, without thinking about the sustainable exploitation, we need to understand how, the sustainable exploitation of the natural resources is very much important to preserve the cultural heritage. And in this scenario, preservation of cultural heritage and sustainable development, I mean, there are the various organizations and various acts has been trying their best to mitigate the cultural, protect the cultural heritage. As part of that, There is an international organization called UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites, which is trying their best to protect the World Heritage Sites. In the Indian context, if we see Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958, which is trying to provide the best cultural heritage, preservation systems are some of the aspects in this
Sir, conclude
AMSAR
yourself.
Act. Yes, I'm going to conclude. And along with that, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Archaeological Survey of India also trying their best to preserve the cultural heritage. In this scenario, I would like to conclude that along with these acts, along with the work of various organizations, there is local community must be involved in the preservation of cultural heritage, because the exploitation of natural resources and exploitation of the various resources particularly involved by the local communities. And this is the reason why the local communities must be created some sort of awareness regarding the importance of cultural heritage, and they must be making responsible for the preservation of this cultural heritage. So the findings highlight the necessity of the adopting the interdisciplinary approach to balance economic imperatives with cultural sustainability. So that is what I would like to conclude. Thank you, one and all. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, one. Hello.
Sir.
It's okay, sir. Next, yes, sir. Next presenter. Okay. आपल्याला unmute करायचं असेल. बरोबर बोलायचं. Hello. Harshad Patil, will you present the paper? Harshad Jadhav. Okay, ma'am, will you present your paper?
Is its screen visible?
Yes. Yes. Your screen is visible. Just make it wide and start your speech.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My paper name is the evaluation of Kolhapuri chappals, the global reach via e-commerce. Kolhapuri chappals, handcrafts, leather, footwear from Maharashtra. India boasts a rich culture heritage dating back to century. Known for their durability and intricate the design, these chappals are symbolized the craftsmanship passed down through a generation. E-commerce and digital marketing now offer the artisan a chance to reach the global market and transferring a localization trade into the global enterprises. Research objective. First research objective is historical significance. Examining the historical significance of Kolhapuri chappals in Indian culture. Second one is e-commerce impact. Explore the impact of e-commerce on distribution and sale of Kolhapuri chappals. Third one is digital marketing role. Analyze the role of the digital marketing in promoting Kolhapuri chappals globally. Fourth one is enhancing the global reach. The purpose of the strategy for further enhance the global market reach of a Kolhapuri artisans. Research, assumption and hypothesis. Assumption: e-commerce has positively impacted sales and distribution. Digital marketing has created awareness and demand globally. Artisans face challenges in adapting digital technology and marketing strategy. Hypothesis: Kolhapuri chappal sales have increased with the e-commerce platform. Effectively, digital marketing can evaluate the international presence. The training in e-commerce and digital tools will enhance the market and reach profitability. Need and importance of the research. The craftsmanship. Preserving the traditional craftsmanship with adapting to modern market demands is a critical for sustaining the Kolhapuri chappals industry. Global platforms, e-commerce provider global platforms that connect the artisan to diverse the customer base, enable them to grow beyond the local market. Leveraging means advantages the digital tools. The research explores how Kolhapuri choppers makes can leverage the digital marketing tools to build brand, identify and promote their product worldwide. Research methodology. First, sampling selection. A sample of a Kolhapuri chappal artisan, e-commerce business and consumer. Second, data collection. Interview of with artisan, analysis of sales data from e-commerce platform and consumer survey. Third, analysis the tools. Sort means the strategy, weakness and opportunity and threats. Analysis of a Kolhapuri chappals industry and the digital marketing in marketing case studies. Analysis and interpretation of information. Increase the global reach. Artisans who adopted e-commerce reported a significant increase in international orders. Challenges in a digital adoption. Many artisans face the difficulty at traditional transitioning to online sales due to the lack of the technical knowledge. Storytelling in marketing. Digital marketing campaign highlighting the heritage and.
Madam, will you brief?
Okay, sir. Okay. Solution and the recommendation. E-commerce trading provide with the training e-commerce digital tools with to help to the navigate online platform collaboration. Place and in partnership online the marketplace that specialize in handicrafts and artisan products. Digital to storytelling. Utilize the digital platform to share the rich culture, social history of the Kolhapuri chappal connecting to the immersion. Conclusion. Thriving in a modern world, Kolhapuri chappals have a long way from the digital tradition craft limited to a local market. With the e-commerce digital marketing, they can reach the global audience. Artisan must embrace them, the technology and marketing strategy to sustain with grow. This research highlights the importance of the digital transmission and suggests the way to preserve the culture heritage and while adapting a global trade dynamic. Thank you.
Next presenter. Hello, next presenter, will you start?
Sir, Dr. V. Sumulata.
Okay.
Sir, is it audible?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am. Start.
Okay. I am sharing my screen. It's supporting. 1 minute, sir. Just.
Madam, please share your screen.
Yes, sir. I am sharing, sir.
If it's not possible, you can go without PPT.
Yes, sir.
We don't have time.
Is it visible, sir? Sir, my
Not
slide
now.
sharing is
Not yet.
not yet. 1 minute, sir.
Madam, firstly, you start your video, madam, visible, then share your screen.
Okay, sir. Sir, is it my video is visible, sir? Hello? Hello?
Sir.
Sir, is it my video is visible, sir?
Madam, you are visible, but your PPT is not visible.
Yes, sir. Now I am sharing. Yes, it's a unsupported document. Shall I carry on with my server?
You can carry on without PPT.
Without PPT. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Madam,
Yes, sir, yes, sir, ma'am.
it's a request that go ahead without PPT.
Yes, sir. I'm Dr. V. Sumulata, lecturer in chemistry, JMJ College for Women, Tenali, Guntur district. Today, my topic is I study on phytoremediation with special reference to soil in India. Firstly, I want to tell you what is phytoremediation. Here, phytoremediation offers a nature-based solution using plants to remove or stabilize contaminants. Here, the main causes in India, contaminants causes in India is mainly due to industrial discharge, excessive pesticide use, mining, and urbanization. My research mainly focuses on plant species, contamination types, and environmental factors affecting remediation and efficiency. Here, some phytoremediation mechanisms are there, that is phytoextraction, phytostabilization, phytodegradation, and rhizofiltration. These are the some mechanisms for phytoremediation. Firstly, I want to discuss about phytoextraction. The phytoextraction is the process the plant absorbs contaminants through their roots and translocate them to above ground biomass. These phytoextraction shows some plants that are Brassica junecia, Teris vittata, and Talpisia caerulescens. Next procedure mechanism is phytostabilization. Certain plants immobilize contaminants within the root zone, reducing their mobility. These phytostabilization shows chrysopogon, gingernoids, and willows. These plants will show phytostabilization mechanism. And phytodegradation. The plant breaks down organic pollutants such as pesticides and hydrocarbons through enzymatic action. These phytodegradation shows by Cajanus casana, glycine max, popular, and sunflower trees will show the phytodegradation mechanism. And final mechanism is rhizofiltration. These mechanism shows plant roots absorb and concentrate contaminants from source, water source. Example plants are Eichhornia craspis, is widely used for the purpose to remove the contaminants from the soil. And mainly contamination caused by in
Madam,
India.
will you conclude?
Yes, I will conclude with phytoremediation is a sustainable and cost-effective approach to soil remediation in India. Combining scientific advancements with policy reforms can ensure long-term environmental sustainability. Thank you. With these words, I will conclude. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Now, chairperson will give his views
Okay.
upon the session.
Okay. I am Dr. Rameshwar. May I audible now? Yes, may I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, okay. I am Dr. Rameshwar Rathod, Assistant Professor, Department of English, LBS College, Satara. May be blessing for your Almighty God be boasted upon all of you. Good afternoon. I am delegated to hear the chair this session on one-day national multidisciplinary conference on innovation for sustainable development and restriction of the environment. It gives me a great pleasure to deliver the closing remark of the national conference. I observed an excellent presentations and active discussion among the speaker, namely Ranjit Kumar and Smita Patil. Therefore, I conclude that the purpose of national conference has been completely accomplishment. As mentioned earlier, service should be the means, the end of towards a betterment of the society. This was further strengthened by Mahatma Gandhi. I quote, the best way to find yourself it is not loss yourself in the service to others in quote. I hope that what you have to learn those conference, I will help you to lot of many aspect of the life. I would like to close my remark to officially announce the end of the paper presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Give me the golden opportunity to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now
Thank you.
the session is open for discussion. If anybody have any query or questions, they can unmute their mic and ask the questions. Now here are three experts. One is Rameshwar Rathod sir, another is Dr. Pramod Kamble sir, and third one is Dr. Basappa Kamble sir. They will give answers to your questions. All the participants are requested to unmute their mics and ask the questions.
Hello,
Now
sir.
the session is open for discussion.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir. I am Mubina Tabassum. I have been watching this one. I am also a part of this conference. I have sent my full paper, but I haven't get my chance, sir, here.
Will you want to present paper?
Yes, sir. I have sent the full paper, and as a presenter, I selected there.
You can take permission of chairperson of this session.
With
Dr.
whom I
Rathod,
have
sir.
to take? I thought that you will call my name.
No,
I am in the session only.
now you can take permission of Dr. Rathod, sir. If he allows, you can.
How can
Yes,
I take, sir?
Please, ma'am, please present your papers.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm S. Mubina Tabassum. I'm a PhD research scholar of JNTU, Anantapur, sir. And simultaneously, I'm working as an English lecturer in one of the private colleges in Kurnool, that is Usmania Degree College. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers that they have selected me, that they are giving me this opportunity for presenting my paper in this conference.
Okay.
And my topic is Hariharan's role in reshaping the discourse on gender equity. Here, I am talking about the Geeta Hariharan. Geeta Hariharan is the renowned writer and novelist in the present contemporary situation, contemporary period. She wrote many articles and novels and columns in newspapers also. And she has given in-depth analysis of a portrayal of Indian women in the novels of Geeta Hariharan, a significant contemporary Indian writer known for her engagement with social justice and gender issues. Hariharan works including The Thousand Faces of Night, In Times of Siege, The Ghost of Vasu Master, When Dreams Travel. She showed the women identity, how she lost the identity, how the women is struggling for their identity. And completely in her novels, she portrays the women characters as the women are submissive, subjugated under the male-dominated society. Here, when we talk about her novel, when we talk about her novel, The Thousand Faces of Night, in this we can say that she had very clearly shown the three characters from the three consecutive generations. One is Devi, another is Sita, and the third character is Mayamma. And Devi is the protagonist of that particular novel. She has completed BA degree in India.
Madam, will you conclude?
Ma'am, conclude your paper.
Yes, my conclusion is in these novels, she has shown the submissive characters of the women and how they are facing the resilience, how they are facing the struggles, they are being resilient in their novels, particular novels. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for of this excellent presentation and very good topic, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now the session is open for discussion. Participant can ask their questions to expertise. They can unmute their mics and ask questions. Or they can send us in chat box.
any other question, please send in the chat box.
There are no any questions in chat box. If anybody want to ask questions directly, they can unmute their mics and ask the questions. The discussion cannot go without questions.
Sir, your voice not clear.
Who is asking question? Please ask questions in a clear manner. First of all, tell your name and ask the question. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Good
yes.
afternoon. My name is Tapasum. And from my topic only, I'm getting a question, sir. That
Yes.
so far I have referred many books from many writers that they are discussing about they are telling about the submissive women and in the male-dominated society. But my my doubt is nowadays in the modern era, people are not being submissive, especially the women. First of all, what they will do after getting marriage, for some days they will be as a submissive, means they will be surrendered, they will be under the control of their husbands and their in-laws. And after some many days, when these people are started doing the domestic violence, only few people are accepting that violence and they are getting wounded, killed, or they are committed to suicide. But nowadays, people have become very fast and sophisticated. Means we can say they are sophisticated through the minds. Through the minds, they have developed their minds. They are not being like that. Means they have come forward and they are giving the complaint against these people to the police stations, and some people are taking the divorce and they are getting married somewhere. But why these people are again these writers are again presenting these issues only in their particular prose pieces or in the particular novels, that women are being submissive. This is a contradictory part in my view. Is according to your views? Please share your views and opinions also, sir.
Ma'am, your actually his very important novel by Liberation of Sita, the good example to the male, popularly known to the pen name by the Volga, is a Telugu poet and writer she know to the feminist perspective. She is very important novel by the women society by Liberation of Sita is very good example to the women voices. So very good example to the novel by Liberation of Sita written by Olga.
Okay, sir.
Anybody else the question, please question sent to the chat box.
One question by participant to the organizers itself, and it is for Dr. Pramod Kamble. Question is that how will or which will be the solutions or the probable tasks to come to the problem of to close the problem of the to resolve the problem of global warming, that is the increasing day by day, the temperature of earth is increasing day by day. What could be the yes, the question is sir, what the point?
No, sir, can you repeat once again?
Yes, the question is that the earth is facing problem of global warming.
Yes.
What could be the remedies?
So global warming is universal problem, and as you know, we are suffering from various consequences of global warming, greenhouse effect, then uneven monsoon, water distribution, drought conditions, right? So in my point of view, or whatever I have studied and through my learning, I have understand that the solution lies in our traditional mechanism or traditional practices, agricultural practices or conservation mechanism. We need to go back to our tradition, and we have to very nicely implicate the traditional mechanism in order to conserve our environment. For example, conservation of forest. Then agriculture sector, we have to focus upon the organic farming so that we can enjoy healthy life. And we have to respect the nature and ecological processes that are happening. And we should try to minimize create threat to the ecosystem or natural resources as possible way. Yes. Thank you. Yes, am I correct?
Sir, you have given quite good answer.
But another question is there. I can read that.
Yes.
In textbook.
Yes.
How can we accelerate the development and deployment of sustainable technologies? Yes, very nice question. Right now, global village, globe as acting as a village, and in terms of technology, we are having every kind of knowledge, right? But we have to think about how we can achieve the goal of sustainable development with the help of technologies, right? So technology, no doubt, they are very helpful and they are much needed, but at the same time, unnecessarily, if there is no need of using technology, unnecessarily we are using technology and creating extra pressure on the natural resources. If you look at the current scenario, there is an energy crisis, and that energy crisis can be minimized by using renewable energy sources. For example, solar energy, then biomass energy, and there are many other options for existing energy sources. For development, we need to have a sustainable energy supply. Also, we have to have a awareness among the local people regarding the eco-friendly technique. And yes, it is quite possible if you understand the ecological processes and their implication in order to achieve goal of sustainable development. Yes, we can very readily achieve the sustainable development while deploying the techniques and accelerating the development mechanism. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You have given very suitable answer. Now the session is over to Naikodi sir.
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद। इस खुली चर्चा सत्र और पेपर प्रस्तुति का बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से सादरीकरण हुआ है। बहुत ही प्रतिभागियों ने अपने विचार यहाँ पर उपस्थित किए हैं और सवाल भी प्रस्तुत किए हैं। उसके जवाब जो हैं प्रमुख वक्ता और जानकारों के द्वारा अच्छी तरीके से दिए गए हैं। अब कार्यक्रम को थोड़ा आगे बढ़ाते हैं समय सीमा को ध्यान में रखते हुए। चंदन की
another question is there in text box.
Yes.
What policy changes are needed to be incentivize sustainable innovation? See, like our government of India is very keen to implement the eco-friendly policies. Recent budget, they have selected 100 districts, right? 100 districts. Those were affected by the El Nino effect. El Nino means they are basically suffering from the drought conditions. So why they are suffering from drought condition? Those 100 districts that has been actually addressed by the government of India. Previously, they used to produce cereals, then edible oil. They used to produce edible oil based on the traditional mechanism. And since last 4,000 years, that particular districts were used to supply edible oil whole world. And later on, we switched towards the modern agriculture technology. We start cultivating cash crops like sugar cane. And because of that, excess water being utilized in order to grow the sugar cane. But however, previously used to grow cereals, and if you take the example of the Marathwada district, was very much important, like played a very important role in order to produce edible oil seeds, right? And that seeds is basically used for production of the edible oil. But however, right now, the cash crop, modernization of technology, and then excess addition of fertilizers and chemicals has damaged the soil fertility. And that damaged soil fertility has created chaos in that particular area. So in order to address that particular problem, government has taken very nice initiative. They are providing funding for water management, like drip irrigation mechanism, subsidies. Then also they are initiating organic farming mechanism. They are promoting like hydroponic. Then they are providing money for the development of organic manure and mixed cropping and like traditional mechanism basically. For example, last year, government has celebrated millet years. So significant amount of policies has been implemented in order to address that problem. And sustainable innovation, yes, people are working towards this sustainable innovation through various universities like agriculture universities, government universities are working for development of new sustainable technology based on the organic farming. And yes, we are like focusing on this particular mechanism, and the government is very keen to support to such initiatives. Thank you.
धन्यवाद सर। पुनः एक बार प्रमुख वक्ता और
Another question आया है. In what way can humans live a beautiful life in harmony with nature? See, like I think we are agriculture country. If we really would like to enjoy a beautiful life in harmony with nature, you have to minimize your needs, and also you have to think about how to conserve natural resources and how to go green or organic. So those people are eating food, organically grown food, they are having more life expectancy. And ultimate solution for this climate change in other, like if you really would like to want to have a harmony with nature, plant at least 10 trees. And that make sure that whatever the you have like trees that you have tree saplings that you have planted, it like grown enough. Okay, and this is how small efforts can help to create harmony with nature. So plantation, organic farming, then yes, these are the some of the things, right, that we need to consider. Okay, the offsetting. It's that like answer could be like Basappa Kamble sir will be best person, but I will put my views on this particular question. We have to think about green economy, right? So carbon offsetting mechanism can be achieved very nicely. Like if you take the example of uh, carbon footprint is one of the very important, you can say, indicator to address this particular problem, right? So it is depending on the energy utilization pattern. Those people are using more energy, they are having more carbon footprint. They are emitting more carbon. So in case of this particular market, like market system or economy, basically, as I did mention, this economy and ecology are the same sides of the, like two sides of the same coin. Okay, so we have to understand that principle, and accordingly we have to address that problem. For example, like market mechanism is now we are talking about the e-vehicle. That's like vehicle run on a battery. But if you look at the toxic cost of go green, it's huge. Huge amount of health problems have been developed. So we have to think about how we are going to have carbon offsetting. So best way to implement green mechanism, try to implement environmental policy at maximum extent. It may be industry, it may be education institute, it may be any other sector. We have to respect the environmental policies that has been given by our government, like developed by the or amended by the Constitution of India, then international, national level policies. And then, yes, very nicely we can have this particular mechanism. But ultimately, I would say that we have to focus on organic farming and sustainable farming mechanism. Thank you.
सर आपकी अगर अनुमति है तो आगे बढ़ सकते हैं कामले सर जी।
Yes, please.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आपने सभी प्रश्नों का जो है सटीक और विस्तृत जानकारी यहाँ पे प्रस्तुत की है। पुनश्च एक बार सभी वक्ताओं का और जानकारों का मैं महाविद्यालय के और इस कार्य जो सम्मेलन है इसके आयोजकों की ओर से उन्हें एक बार धन्यवाद देता हूँ। चंदन की खुशबू चौखट पर बिछाते हैं, पवित्र भाव से खुशी के दीप जलाते हैं। हमारी प्रेरणा महाविद्यालय की प्रधानाचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर साउंके जी मैडम जी का मैं तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं और उनसे गुजारिश करता हूं कि वे आभासी मंच पर अपने अध्यक्षीय मंतव्य को रखें। प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर साउंके मैडम जी।
सर आवाज येतोय का?
जी आ रहा है।
गुड आफ्टरनून. ओके, good afternoon. Before I start, I would like to touch on the mottos of our संस्था ज्ञान विज्ञान आणि सुसंस्कार यासाठी शिक्षण प्रसार. Getting motivated and keeping the aim in mind, शिक्षण महर्षी Dr. Bapuji Salunke devoted his complete life in providing a ज्ञान rural area of 13 districts in Maharashtra and one district in Karnataka with the strong support of Samstamata Sushila Devi Salunke. I would pay my humble gratitude to the spreaded memories of youth idols Sri Swami Vivekananda, Shikshan Maharishi Dr. Bapuji Salunke, Samstamata Sushila Devi Salunke, and freedom fighter Kakasaheb Chavan. It is my honor and privilege that Kakasaheb Chavan College Talmavale is hosting online national level conference on innovation for sustainable development and restoration of environment. Principal Abhay Kumar Salunke Saheb, Executive President Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Samstha, Kolhapur, gave us an opportunity of conducting this national conference. I am grateful to have a support of respected Chandrakant Dada Patil, playing important role in motivating this conference, president of our Samstha. Guidance of respected principal Shubhangitai Gaude Madam, Secretary Sri Swami Vivekananda Shikshan Samstha Kolhapur, and respected Kaustubh Gaude sir, CEO of our Samstha. Respected Principal Dr. Milin Mudre sir, Joint Secretary of our Samstha. Former Principal and Joint Secretary Administration Dr. Rajendra Shekhar sir. Conference keynote address respected Dr. Pramod Kamble, Sir Rajasthan Central and Resource Person Dr. Basava Kamble, Sir Society, Arts Commerce College, Incharge Principal Captain Dr. Mahesh Gaikwad sir, Principal Professor Dr. Satish Ghale sir, IC Principal Dr. Satish Desai sir, IC Principal Kiran Moite sir, and Shekhar Moite sir, and CDC member Sawant sir, Sanjay Desai sahib, Pratap Desai sahib, Bharat Patil sahib, and organization committee member, conference coordinator Dr. In-state and outstate of the Maharashtra, participated teachers, research students, and non-teaching staff. It is my pleasure to express my gratitude to the principal Shubhangitai Gaude Madam, who gave the time important aside for the innovation of conference and guided over the particular for the regarding initiation, see both and greeted and show the support of Dr. Pramod Kamble from
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद मैडम जी, आपने अपने मत यहाँ पे रखे, हमें मार्गदर्शन किया। आपके मार्गदर्शन के चलते यहाँ सम्मेलन जो है वो अंतिम पड़ाव तक आकर पहुंच चुका है। फिर से एक बार आप सभी का और सावंत मैडम जी का मैं धन्यवाद यहाँ पर देता हूँ। और कार्यक्रम का जो अंतिम पड़ाव है, जिसे आभार प्रदर्शन ज्ञापन कहा जाता है, चंद पंक्तियों के पश्चात मैं मेरे सहकारी हमारे मार्गदर्शक विभाग के प्रमुख चौहान सर जी से विनती करता हूं कि वो आभार व्यक्त करे। चंद पंक्तियों के पश्चात, प्रकृति ने हमें पेड़ दिए, उपवन दिए, नदी तालाब झरने दिए, सागर दिए, समंदर दिए, प्रकृति ने हमें रंग दिए, लेकिन हम तो मानव हैं। ईर्ष्या जलन अहम हमारा स्वभाव है, अपना ही हित सोचना यही शायद हमारा प्रादुर्भाव है। हमने तो सिर्फ लिया है, दिया तो कुछ भी नहीं है। लेकिन अब इसके बारे में सोचने का वक्त आया है कि पर्यावरण के साथ हमें किस प्रकार का बर्ताव करना चाहिए और उसके संसाधनों का किस प्रकार से उपयोग करके उसे भी जीवित रखना, यह हमारा परम कर्तव्य है। क्योंकि अगर हम धीरे धीरे पर्यावरण को हानि पहुंचाएंगे तो निश्चित रूप से हम स्वयं के नष्ट होने के मार्ग पर पहुंच जाएंगे। अंत में विदाई लेते हुए मैं फिर से एक बार सभी को धन्यवाद देता हूं और इस वादे के साथ कि भविष्य में नए विचारों के साथ हम फिर मिलेंगे। प्राध्यापक चौहान सर से विनती करता हूं कि वे आभार ज्ञापन करें। चौहान सर जी।
धन्यवाद सर जी। काका साहेब चौहान कॉलेज तळमावले की ओर से पर्यावरण पुनरुत्थान और शाश्वत विकास के लिए नवाचार इस पर आयोजित एक दिवसीय राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी अत्यंत सफल रूप से संपन्न हो चुकी है। पिछले 3-4 घंटों से हम पर्यावरण पुनरुत्थान और शाश्वत विकास पर चर्चा विचार विमर्श हो चुका है। इस संगोष्ठी के लिए उद्घाटक के रूप में उपस्थित संस्था की सचिव महोदया प्राचार्य शुभांगी गावड़े जी ने अपना मौलिक मंतव्य यहाँ पर प्रस्तुत किया, मैं उस मंतव्य के लिए महाविद्यालय की ओर से उनका आभार ज्ञापित करता हूँ। इसके साथ भाषक के रूप में उपस्थित डॉक्टर प्रमोद कांबळे जी ने अत्यंत विस्तृत रूप से पर्यावरण पर चर्चा की, साथ ही उन्होंने अनेक प्रश्नों के उत्तर दिए और जो हमारे मन में पर्यावरण को लेकर जो प्रश्न भी उनका उन्होंने अत्यंत विस्तृत रूप से मार्गदर्शन हमें किया, इसलिए मैं उनके प्रति भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही इस संगोष्ठी के लिए उपस्थित दूसरे विषय विशेषज्ञ डॉक्टर बस्तब्बा शंकर कांबळे जी, इन्होंने भी अपने मौलिक विचार यहाँ पर व्यक्त किए और ये पर्यावरण पर और अधिक जानकारी यहाँ पर दी, इसलिए मैं महाविद्यालय की ओर से उनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही शोधालक प्रस्तुति का जो सत्र हुआ, उस सत्र के अध्यक्ष एलबीएस कॉलेज से जुड़े रामेश्वर राठौड़ जी, इन्होंने भी इस सत्र की अध्यक्षता की, मैं उनके प्रति भी महाविद्यालय की ओर से कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करता हूँ। शोधालक प्रस्तुत करने वाले रंजीत कुमार जी, सौ स्मिता पाटिल जी, इसके साथ ही डॉक्टर पी सुमलता जी, इसके साथ ही मुबीना तबस्सुम जी, इन्होंने इस संगोष्ठी में अपने शोधालेख प्रस्तुत किए, मैं उनके प्रति भी आभार ज्ञापित करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही इस संगोष्ठी की अध्यक्षा और जिनके मार्गदर्शन में ये आज संगोष्ठी संपन्न हुई है, वे हमारे महाविद्यालय की आदरणीय प्रधानाचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर उषा देवी सालुंके मैडम जी का भी मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ, क्योंकि मार्गदर्शन के कारण ही ये संगोष्ठी आज संपन्न हो रही है। इसके साथ ही हमारे संस्था के सभी पदाधिकारी, सातारा सभी प्रधानाचार्य जिन्होंने इस संगोष्ठी को सफल करने के लिए सहयोग दिया, उनके भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही इस संगोष्ठी के समन्वयक डॉक्टर एस के नाइक जी और आईटी के समन्वयक डॉक्टर दिगंबर विसे जी, जिनके अथक प्रयास के कारण ये संगोष्ठी अत्यंत सुचारू रूप से संपन्न हो गई है, उनके प्रति भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही ये जो सब 3 घंटों से जब सब चल रहा है, उसकी जो टेक्निकल टीम है, डॉक्टर श्री नवनाथ पुजारी सर जी और उनके सभी साथी, इनके प्रति मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, क्योंकि टेक्निकल चीजें बहुत आवश्यक होती है जब ऑनलाइन सब होती है, तो उन सभी के प्रति मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। इसके साथ ही हम हमारे सब गुरुदेव कार्यकर्ता जो इस संगोष्ठी में ऑनलाइन रूप से जुड़े हैं, उन सभी कार्यकर्ताओं का भी आभार, और इस संगोष्ठी को अत्यंत सुचारू रूप से संचालित करने वाले दीपा पाटिल मैडम जी और इरफान नायसर जी, इनके प्रति मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, और बाकी अन्य राज्यों से उपस्थित सभी प्रतिभागी और हमारे जो महाविद्यालय के सब छात्र हैं और हमारे सभी गुरुदेव कार्यकर्ता, इनका फिर एक बार आभार व्यक्त करते हुए यह संगोष्ठी यहाँ पर संपन्न हुई, ऐसा मैं घोषित करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Here is one announcement that all the paper presenters and who have sent papers in this conference, they will get their paper presentation certificate through post at their correspondence address. Thank you. Thank you to all. Now the meeting is over for all.